The arrival. On a cold, moonless night in the heart of autumn, Sarah and David, a young couple seeking solitude from their bustling city lives, arrived at Hollow Manor. It was a dilapidated mansion perched atop a hill, shrouded in thick mist that seemed to cling to the very air around it. The manor had a reputation that sent shivers down the spine of anyone who heard its name. The couple had inherited the mansion from a distant relative, a man who had vanished without a trace decades ago. As they stood before the massive, wrought-iron gates, an eerie sense of foreboding washed over them. They had no choice but to unlock the gates and venture forth into the unknown. The unearthly presence. Inside Hollow Manor, the air was heavy with the scent of decay and secrets. Shadows danced on the walls as the couple explored room after room. It was as if the house itself was watching, waiting. Strange occurrences became a daily norm. Whispered voices echoed in empty hallways, and doors slammed shut of their own accord. The couple dismissed it as the quirks of an old house, but unease gnawed at their sanity. One night, Sarah awoke to find herself standing at the edge of a grand staircase, her feet moving without her control. A voice, chilling and unnatural, whispered in her ear,
"You cannot leave."
The haunting. As days turned into weeks, the couple's lives became a relentless descent into terror. They heard agonized cries in the middle of the night and saw ghostly figures roaming the hallways. David's once healthy complexion grew pale, and he complained of constant fatigue. Sarah's hair began to turn prematurely gray as nightmares plagued her sleep. The manor seemed to come alive at night. Footsteps echoed through the corridors, and cold drafts followed them from room to room. Every attempt to leave the house was met with an invisible force, preventing them from crossing the threshold. The unraveling. Desperation drove Sarah and David to uncover the truth about Hollow Manor. They delved into the manor's history, discovering that it had been built on a cursed burial ground. Legend spoke of a malevolent spirit seeking revenge for the desecration of its resting place. In a hidden chamber deep within the manor, they found an old journal, the words of which sent chills down their spines. It detailed the tragic story of a man who had lived in the manor centuries ago, tormented by an evil presence that had ultimately driven him to madness. The final stand. Determined to break the curse, Sarah and David sought the guidance of a local priest. Together, they performed a ritual to cleanse the house and lay the restless spirit to rest. As the ceremony unfolded, the air grew heavy with tension, and the manor seemed to fight back with all its malevolence. Suddenly, a deafening roar echoed through the halls as the spirit manifested itself before them. The room grew icy cold, and the very walls seemed to pulse with anger. The couple stood their ground, repeating the exorcism incantations with unwavering resolve. With a final, thunderous shriek, the spirit was banished, and Hollow Manor fell silent. The aftermath. Sarah and David never returned to Hollow Manor. They sold the house, never revealing the horrors they had endured within its walls. It passed into the hands of another unsuspecting family, and the curse lay dormant, biding its time for its next victims. Hollow Manor became a place of dark legend, a testament to the darkness that lurked in the shadows of the world. Those who passed by the wrought-iron gates at night could still hear the faint, anguished cries of the tormented spirit that dwelled within.